What's up, everybody? This is Missy from Lansing Hoops, and today we're going to answer another question on how to be a more effective flow teacher. So this week I was talking to a flow friend of mine, and he asked me, what is the secret to being a more effective teacher within a classroom? How do you really get people, how do you connect with someone and really understand what their needs are? So we're going to kind of talk about the lesson from last week where we covered how to schedule your classes week to week and how you take that very topical conversation of what you're actually going to do and apply it to being a more effective teacher. So sometimes teaching, it's not just about what you're teaching, it's about how you teach or why you're teaching someone. So for a lot of us, the reason that we're teaching is because we want to connect with someone, because there's joy in sharing information with someone and watching them learn it. What's frustrating for a lot of teachers is when we're trying to experience that joy of teaching and our student is just like not getting it and they're getting really down on themselves and like getting really upset. And as a teacher, that can be very upsetting, and it's hard to not like go into that moment with the student and be frustrated with them or give up on them and just like write it off as them having a bad attitude and not being able to learn it. So to be a more effective teacher, you need to take that lesson plan that you started with in the beginning of what you're going to do each week and then apply it within the context of what do I want this student to get out of this technique. So walking away from hoop class should be about more than whatever trick you taught that day. For most of us, hooping is about the experience that it creates and the way that it makes us feel. So if your student walks away feeling frustrated or angry with you, then we've really failed in our job. So the way that we do that is, especially with adult students, is when a student is coming to you with a problem, whatever it is, if they're saying, I can't do this thing, or it's too hard, or I've been trying and it just doesn't work, and you know all of the things that your students say when they're getting down on themselves, what they're really telling you is not, I can't. Because we all know that they can. They can do it, and that's what we want to tell them. Yes, you can do it, and we want to be their cheerleaders. But what they're really telling you in that moment is not, I can't do it, because somewhere inside them they know they can too, and they're frustrated that it hasn't happened yet. What they're saying is, I want you to understand that I'm having a hard time. And what they need you to say to them is, I understand that you're having a hard time. And it sounds so simple, but they don't need you to assure them that they're physically able to do what the 5 other people next to them are already able to do. There's nothing physically wrong with them. What they need to know is that it's okay that they haven't experienced that success yet. You can do that by assuring them that this might be a trick that took you a very long time to learn, and you might reference how long it took. So something I say is, when people are frustrated with waist hooping, I'll say, do you know it took me practicing 30 minutes a day for 30 days before I could waist hoop 10 rotations? That's like 15 hours of practice before I could even make it go 10 times. And you've already made it go 10 times in the 5 minutes I've been standing with you. That's amazing, right? I reassure them that it's okay, that even though that hoop's only going 10 times, that's still amazing. They might not feel 100% better, but that what they want is to know that that try that feels like crap to them is going to get them somewhere. I see that you're trying. I know it's not where you want it to be yet, but I still have faith in you. Sounds a lot more fulfilling to that person who's struggling than leaving off that front part and just saying, I know you can do it, you're the best, because they don't feel like the best. They feel like a failure, and they want to be seen that way, not for forever, but just in that moment. They want to be recognized as struggling, because the recognition allows them to come out of that space themselves and move into a more positive role of, okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Or if you feel like as an instructor they really do need to take a break for that day, like no matter how many more times they practice that day, they're not going to get it. What that person needs for you is to let them off the hook just for that day. So you can say something like, I know that you're really struggling right now. Sometimes what I like to do is just take a break for a moment and go into something that feels good or that I already know, and I'll pick it up again the next day and it'll click like that. You're letting them off the hook. You're not saying don't try ever again. You're saying just take a break for a moment. It's normal to not get it right away, and that's what that person needs. So if you have any questions about this technique, hit me up in the comments here or ask another question about how to be a more effective flow teacher, and I'll see you next week. Make sure you subscribe to Lansing Hoops. See you next time.